welcome to another episode of the Sage Studio podcast. I am so excited because we are kicking off the 2024-2025 school year season. We have our first episode in this season, and I'm so excited to welcome Mary from our VLA program. Welcome, Mary, to Sage Studio.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. It's great to be here back for a new school year just right around the corner.
I love it. And I always love having you as a guest on the podcast. So, for those families that might be new to Sage Oak, remind everybody who you are and your role here at Sage Oak.
I am the Virtual Learning Academy coordinator, so I work with our principal, Lana Bashar, and our assistant principal, Carlene Maurer, and we make up kind of the admin team of the Virtual Academy. And I work to support teachers and students and families in our program between TK and 8th grade.
So great. And the VLA program, or Virtual Learning Academy, is one of three academies that we have here at Sage Oak. There is the Virtual Learning Academy, the Personalized Learning Academy, and then our high school program as well. Tell us a little bit about what is the Virtual Learning Academy and how is it kind of unique to the other programs?
Sure. So we like to say that it's truly a hybrid blend for independent study and kind of a classroom community. So students have live instruction 3 days a week with their teacher, with their classmates in Zoom, very much feeling like a traditional classroom. And then they have 2 days of independent study to offer that flexibility that many families and students look for when they're choosing independent study. And so we kind of blend those two things together in a week. So students feel a part of a community. They get to know, develop relationships with their teachers and other classmates, but they also are able to work on their own pace and be able to pursue interests that they might have outside of school with that flexibility.
I love that. It's such a great option for our families to be able to attend this type of program. And the fact that it is hybrid, I think really fits those families who are looking to have the combination of that support from a classroom teacher, but also be able to be hands-on and feel like they're really involved in their students' education. So such a great option for them. For new families that are coming into our Virtual Learning Academy for the first time this year, tell us a little bit about what they can expect.
Definitely. We have so many new families coming in, which is awesome. And we're really proud that a lot of them have been word of mouth of our current families sharing what an awesome experience they've had with the virtual program. And so we have these new families coming in really excited. We have a parent orientation that we host at the beginning of the school year, really to walk families through what they can expect as a program and kind of the nuts and bolts of how do I get to class? How do I find the assignments? How can I support my student? What do I need to be doing on a day-to-day basis? So we provide that parent orientation to give that foundation. And then we also offer, because we're a virtual academy and there's lots of tech involved with that, and we have families at varying degrees of being comfortable with technology, we definitely offer that tech support. Our IT department is ready to go and supporting with IT tickets. And then we also like to host some additional support time through that first week or so, just to make sure everyone can get where they need to go and there aren't any kind of tech hiccups along the way, or if there are, that we can kind of help troubleshoot. And the other thing we really encourage all families to do, but especially new families, is come to our back to school social. We have that for the first time before school starts. And so we're really excited to be able to have students connect with classmates and their teacher in person before they jump into Zoom. And so we offer that and we encourage families to come to that so they can get to know our school and our program and meet lots of faces of our program that day. And finally, we also have our back to school night, and that'll actually happen before our social. And that's a chance for them to get to know their teacher and kind of get to know the classroom procedures and routines that the students will be doing throughout the school year. So, kind of three big things that we try and start that the beginning of the year with so that families feel comfortable, they feel like they know, and they have the tools that they need to be successful for the school year.
So great that you do that so that you really are setting up these new families for a successful year. So let me unpack some of the things there because that was a lot of great back to school information. Okay, so let's first talk about materials. How do parents that are part of the VLA program and students that are part of the VLA program, how do they get their tech? How do they get the materials that they need? Do they pick it up? Does it get delivered? How does that work?
So all families will get shipped of a curriculum box that's curated specifically for a grade level. And that has basic school supplies, textbooks, workbooks, art supplies, especially for the younger ones who are doing lots of projects, lab kits, everything a student needs to be successful. They're going to get that shipped to their front door a week or two before school starts. And then any new families will also get a different shipment of just the Chromebook that they'll be receiving from Sage Oak. So all students will have everything that they need. They will also have everything all the other students in their class have. So everyone can participate fully and feel really comfortable coming into their classes each day.
Okay, I think you are putting a lot of people at ease knowing that is on the way. If they've not received it yet, they will receive all of that by the start of the school year so that they can really be ready to go. And then you mentioned that you're having a back to school night. Now, is the back to school night going to be a virtual night? And is that just for parents? Is it for parents or students? How does the back to school night work?
So the back to school night will happen virtually,
Okay.
and it's a chance we'll have a presentation by our principal, Mrs. Bishara, to walk through an overview of our program for anyone who isn't familiar, or different changes that are happening this year that might be different for returning families. And then we go into breakouts, and each class gets to meet their teacher. So we definitely encourage parents and students to join together. They can join from the same device or different devices. But then teachers walk through a traditional back to school night of what families can expect, what classroom expectations there are, what different platforms they might be using, and get everyone logged in. Our big goal is that everyone knows where to go for live classes, has that Zoom link, is connected to Canvas since that's our learning management system, since that's where all assignments will be, and really just trying to make sure students are connected and know where to go so that they can get to class that first week.
That's so great. And from the parents that I've talked to in the past from the VLA program, they have shared with me how helpful that is and how helpful everyone is on the VLA team of just getting everybody up and running and connected. So, if there are any families out there who are having any sort of concern or worry about that, I promise you are in great hands with the VLA team. They will make sure that you are feeling really good about what to do, where to show up, how to access all those things. Now, let's talk about the fun part social, in person. Tell us a little bit more about that.
We're really excited to be able to do it before school starts. In the past, we've done it kind of after the school year has started. So students have had to go into Zoom that first day, not having met their teacher or classmates in person. So this year, we're trying something new. We're excited to do it the Friday before school starts. Our goal is really that students and families and teachers can get to know each other in person, develop those relationships so that when they go into Zoom for the first day of class, the first day jitters aren't quite as strong as they normally are. And so that social is going to be in Rancho Cucamonga at the park we did last year for students to connect with their classmates, do some fun art projects, do a couple class games, just be with each other, meet each other, find those common interests and meet their teacher so that they really start developing that relationship right from the beginning because we know that's such an important piece of our program is students feeling connected to their classmates, feeling connected to their teacher, knowing that they are in a safe spot to be able to learn and explore.
Yeah, I know that is one of the things that the LA really prides himself on is that, especially as a virtual learning academy, you guys have such a strong community. Do you think it's because you offer opportunities for the students and families to connect both in person and online throughout the year?
I do. I think that's part of it. I think when we think of it being a hybrid independent study, that's also another way that we're hybrid. We do lots of things virtual, but we also try and offer those in person options once a month so that students and families can connect with our school, with each other, and really develop those relationships so they have those rich relationships inside and outside of the computer. But I also think our teachers do such a fabulous job of building those relationships in class virtually. So there's lots of collaboration time, lots of sharing time, lots of community building time in the beginning and continued throughout the year. So they really get to know their students and families. Students feel valued and seen, and families know that they're being supported. And I think those two things combined really makes something really special.
Okay, so we have the VLA back to school night for parents and students. They can kind of walk through the how to's. Then you have the in person back to school social so that they can get to know one another. And then I know that Sage Oak is also having a virtual parent summit for the parents across all the programs. So tell us a little bit about what parents can expect from that virtual summit.
The virtual summit is for all Sage Oak families, and there's different sessions that they can sign up for and join from curriculum to signing up for field trips and really kind of sets families and parents up to be successful for the school year. So if they are interested in joining that, the sessions are listed within the Sage News, and so they can sign up there and attend that way in terms of being ready for the school year on their end.
Are there certain sessions on that day that are specific to VLA, or do all parents attend the same sessions? How does that work?
The different sessions will note kind of which ones are for which programs because
Okay.
some are very specific to a certain curriculum that maybe PLA families use. But in VLA, we have different curriculum that has already been set. But there's ones for field trips of how to sign up for field trips. So definitely take a look at the Sage News and look at the descriptions and make sure they're ones that are tied to the virtual academy to make them the most useful.
Yeah, that's a great note. So there are going to be some that are just school wide that are applicable to all parents, such as signing up for field trips or any kind of school wide events or news that might be going on. But then there are some sessions that are going to be academy specific. So good note there to look for the ones that say VLA. So that is how we can make sure that our new families in the VLA program are set up for success. Tell me about maybe any new changes that some of our returning families can expect for the 24-25 school year.
The biggest change that we have is in terms of our start and end time for the school day, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And we're really excited about this because the way that we are able to adjust the schedule for this year allows for us to have more support in the afternoon times, allows all of our grade levels and classes to be on the same schedule to make it easier for families. Because previously we had elementary ending at a different time than middle school. And so families had a hard time kind of juggling the difference in scheduling when they're trying to do their own schedules at home. So all students starts class at 8:30, end at 12:20. Everyone has the same lunch break. So if families are doing something together, they can do that. And then everyone has the same support time designated in the afternoon. And that support time is from 1 to 2:30. And so family can know that's when students might be invited to those small group classes, and then they can make their family schedule around that. So we're hoping that will help families adjust to getting everyone on the same page in terms of if they have multiple students in our virtual program. It also allows us as a school to provide different support opportunities through our intervention program that don't disrupt the day as much as
Mhm.
they did last year because we're able to line everything up with the new schedule.
Oh, I think that's so smart, and I think families are gonna really appreciate that. Now, in addition to the class schedule that the students have at VLA and that intervention time, talk to me a little bit about the Oak School electives. How did those come into play, and what are those?
We're excited to continue to be able to offer those to our virtual academy families. And we think they're such an important piece of our program because it allows students to explore those interests that maybe aren't part of the core classes, but they may want to explore and get ready for a career or a college opportunity. So students can still take those on Mondays. They can go onto our website and be able to see all the different course offerings that they can choose from. And there's those 4 quarters throughout the school year. So there's lots of opportunity to take lots of different classes, which is great on Mondays. And Mondays is great because they don't have their core class direct instruction during that time. So they're still going to have their assignments that they're assigned from their teachers for Monday, but they can kind of do those around their Oak School classes. Family or middle school students can take a couple other kind of middle school specific classes like coding from some of our college interns so that they can start exploring what does it mean to be a college student, but also what are some interests that they can start thinking about they might want to pursue later on. And then our awesome counselors will also have classes offered on Tuesday afternoons. And so we're excited to continue to allow students to explore all those interests throughout the week, but mostly on Mondays so that they can really have those high interest things that maybe tie them a little bit more to our program and get them excited about learning.
I know those are always a big hit with students, so I'm really glad to hear that those are coming back, and sounds like they're coming back in even a better, more specialized way. I know that program just continues to build and have more and more unique offerings, so that's so great to see. I know that's really important to the kids. They love to explore those different subject matter, but they also love to connect with their friends and their peers in that environment too. How about field trips? I know that field trips have been a big part of the VLA program. Any plans for field trips this year? Changes? Anything different?
We have a couple new ones. We're still offering either a social or field trip every month. We know that's something families look forward to, and we need to be able to build those connections so people can meet in person. We have a few new ones. Instead of going to Tanaka Farms, we're going to Riley's farm. So a couple new opportunities that we're excited about, but still that once a month time that families can connect, students can connect if they want to. And trying to also offer a variety of locations. So families in certain locations can attend at least a couple field trips if the others are far away. We had our first in-person promotion last year as our last social, in May. It was awesome. It was such a magical time to be able to celebrate the accomplishments of all our graduates. And so we're excited to make that bigger and better this year as we look towards the end of the school year, which I know feels far away, but we are so excited to be able to offer that again this year.
I think that's really special. Again, all of these in-person events that you sprinkle throughout the year really do help to make the program feel like a community. And I think that's what's really so special about it is that you have been able to cultivate this program that offers a lot of the freedom and the flexibility and the convenience of learning online, but it's not a isolating program. And there's a lot of community built in, both inline and in person, a lot of community events, a lot of field trips. It's really great to see all the different activities that you guys have built in for students. So awesome to see that continuing. So then the events coming up then in order would be the first one is going to be August 5th through the 9th. That's the Virtual Parent Summit. That's where our parents can connect with other parents and learn a little bit more about the programs and offerings here at Sage Oak and look for some of those specific VLA sessions. Then on August 22nd, that's when you're going to have your back to school VLA night for families and students to get acquainted with all the how-tos of the program. And then they have the live in-person social on August 23rd. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
Mary, we appreciate you stopping by the podcast today. I'm just so excited for another year here with the Virtual Learning Academy. And I know that your new families and your returning families are just as excited, looking forward to it. Thanks so much for coming by today, sharing all this great information. I hope you have a great school year.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you on the next one.